I broke a school rule, and when the principal found out, he gave me a high five. I was sitting in the lunchroom cafeteria when an announcement came over the intercom. Attention, this is Ms. Griffin, your vice principal. The principal is currently on paternity leave, so you will be reporting to me. The first and only rule I care about is that no one is allowed to speak anything other than English. I don't care if you're Mexican, Chinese, or an Israelite. You will be speaking English. Well, me and the rest of my friends assumed it wasn't going to be taken seriously, so we just kept speaking Spanglish. But as soon as we did, a teacher came over to our table. I'm sorry, but if you speak Spanish again, I will have to suspend you. The teacher was Dominican and looked scared, so I knew he wasn't being an a-hole. He was just following orders. I wanted to report Ms. Griffin to a higher authority so badly, but my mom had just gotten the documents to be a legal citizen, and I didn't want to F that up for her. Ms. Griffin is lucky she's a woman, or I would have had her beat to the curb. My mom actually stopped coming to school events after a teacher corrected her accent in front of other parents. Ms. Griffin was standing right there, and instead of telling the teacher to ease up a bit, or even just saying nothing, she went up to my mom and said, maybe you should take some English classes before showing up again. Bilingual kids would hang up on their own parents mid-call if an adult was nearby, because Mrs. Griffin had blackmailed the staff into reporting anyone they heard speaking anything other than English. One of my friends got suspended just for calling out to his grandmother with dementia in Spanish when she picked him up from school. Ms. Griffin happened to be walking by and wrote him up on the spot, telling him his grandmother should have learned English before coming to this country. So I did what any normal boy would do in this situation. I got creative. I developed a whole system to protect myself because I knew Ms. Griffin was always watching, always listening, always hoping to catch someone slip up. When my grandmother had a minor fall and called during passing period, I had to stand in the bathroom stall, saying nothing but yes and no while she asked me questions, terrified that someone would hear me if I spoke. I tapped out codes we developed where 3 taps meant take your medicine and 4 meant call mom instead. It took 15 minutes to make sure she was okay without actually speaking to her, and I was late to chemistry, but at least I hadn't gotten suspended. I thought I could keep managing these situations with creative solutions until graduation. I even taught the baddie in my class the method, and she taught all her friends. But emergencies don't always follow your careful plans. During history class one day, my phone started vibrating in my pocket. It was my neighbor. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I tried to ignore it, but it just kept going. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I was stressed because my neighbor had never called more than twice before. Something was very wrong. The second my teacher turned to write on the board, I slipped out into the hallway and called back. Hello? I whispered. My neighbor responded screaming, your grandmother has collapsed. She's barely breathing. The paramedics are here, but she keeps speaking Spanish and they don't know what she's saying. I need you to translate the name of the heart medication she has. I tried our tapping system, but she was crying too hard to understand it. I tried typing the medication name in a text, but she couldn't read my screen to the paramedics while holding the phone to her ear. There was no creative solution this time. My grandmother was dying, and I had to choose between her life and my future at this school. I ran down the empty hallway toward the exit, speaking rapid Spanish, explaining exactly where the medication was kept in the bathroom cabinet. My neighbor put me on speaker so I could talk to the paramedics, but they didn't speak Spanish either, so I was translating frantically back and forth while running to my car. The medical terms came out in whatever language I could think of them in first, switching between Spanish and English so fast I couldn't track which language I was speaking, just desperate to get the information across about her heart medication. I had just finished getting all the information out when I saw Ms. Griffin standing by the main entrance, watching me speak the forbidden language. She grabbed my arm and yanked me to a stop. Her face was red with anger. I'm expelling you. I always knew you'd be slipping up eventually, and now I have all the proof I needed. My mind went blank, and I didn't even know what to say, but that's when I heard it. Footsteps behind us. It was Principal Weaver. I guess he just returned from paternity leave because he started walking across the parking lot. I saw the whole thing. What exactly is happening here? Ms. Griffin went pale.
Due to the limited time on YouTube, you can open the link on my homepage to download TikTok. Then, enter the Arabic numeral password in the upper right corner of the search bar to find this novel for free reading. There are more wonderful novels being updated.